Let's talk about context, which is critical to manage deadlines, timeouts, and cancellations for Go routines. Especially for Go routines that are long-running tasks, we want to be able to manage their lifecycle and to be able to cancel or timeout for certain network operations or for certain service requests. So we have a function called doWork, which simulates a long-running task, and there is a select statement. There's two cases in this select statement. One is time.After, and what this does is it creates a channel after the specified duration of 3 seconds, and then it populates it with the current time. So after 3 seconds, this select case will execute and the work will be completed. So what this means is that this long-running task will complete after 3 seconds. And we have a second case that receives from a context.Done call. And what context.Done does is that it listens for cancellation signals. And based on the context that is passed in, this context is being controlled in this case by the main function. And the main function is able to cancel this context. Once the context is canceled, this channel will actually be closed and this case will execute. And so a context.error will be returned in that case. So which select statement will actually occur first? It depends on if the context.Done call occurs before or after 3 seconds. We can observe that in the main function, we create a context with a 2-second timeout. Context and cancel are instantiated in this line, in which we have a context.withTimeout call. We pass it a context.background, which is a generic context that has no deadline, no cancellation. And then we pass it a timeout in seconds, 2 times time.Second. What this means is this context will actually time out after 2 seconds. And in this select block, the context.Done channel is going to close in 2 seconds, which means this long-running task will not be able to run to completion because this context that is being passed in and controlled in the main function times out within 2 seconds, which is less than 3 seconds. And we defer the cancel call to ensure that all of the resources associated with the context are being released and cleaned up properly, and we have no memory leaks. And there's a comment here which indicates what this line is doing. It's returning the context deadline exceeded or cancellation. We receive an error from doWork, and we pass in the context instantiated here. And if the error is not nil, we record the error. In this case, the error will be context deadline exceeded. Else, if there's no error, then we print work completed successfully. So let's run this code. And the output we get after approximately 2 seconds is that the context deadline has exceeded. What if we change this timeout to 4 seconds? Well, in this case, we expect that this long-running task will actually complete. The time.After will be populated, well, the channel will be populated with the current time after a 3-second delay. And since this 3-second delay is going to fully elapse because the outer context is going to be canceled in 4 seconds instead of 2 seconds, we should not see a context.error with the error context deadline exceeded being printed out to the console. Instead, we should see work completed, or rather work completed successfully. So if I run this program, after 3 seconds, we see error, work completed.